I should not like to part with it either." "I dare say Sergeant Dunham keeps you above the necessity of selling your clothes, child; but at the same time it is money thrown away to keep an article of dress you can never wear." "I should be unwilling to part with the gift of a friend." "But the young man himself will think all the better of you for your prudence after the triumph of the day is forgotten. It is a pretty and a becoming calash, and ought not to be thrown away." "I've no intention to throw it away, ma'am, and, if you please, would rather keep it." "As you will, child. Girls of your age often overlook the real advantages. Remember, however, if you do determine to dispose of the thing, that it is bespoke, and that I will not take it if you ever even put it on your own head." "Yes, ma'am," said Mabel, in the meekest voice imaginable, though her eyes looked like diamonds, and her cheeks reddened to the tints of two roses, as she placed the forbidden garment over her well turned shoulders, where she kept it a minute, as if to try its fitness, and then quietly removed it again. The remainder of the sports offered nothing of interest. The shooting was reasonably good, but the trials were all of a scale lower than those related, and the competitors were soon left to themselves. The ladies and most of the officers withdrew, and the remainder of the females soon followed their example. Mabel was returning along the low flat rocks that lined the shore of the lake, dangling her pretty calash from a prettier finger, when Pathfinder met her. He carried the rifle which he had used that day, but his manner had less of the frank ease of the hunter about it than usual, while his eye seemed roving and uneasy. After a few unmeaning words concerning the noble sheet of water before them, he turned towards his companion with strong interest in his countenance, and said, "Jasper earned that calash for you, Mabel, without much trial of his gifts." "It was fairly done, Pathfinder." "No doubt, no doubt. The bullet passed neatly through the potato, and no man could have done more, though others might have done as much." "But no one did as much!" exclaimed Mabel, with an animation that she instantly regretted, for she saw by the pained look of the guide that he was mortified equally by the remark and by the feeling with which it was uttered. It is true, Mabel, no one did as much then, but yet there is no reason I should deny my gifts which come from Providence. Yes, no one did as much there, but you shall know what can be done here. Do you observe the gulls that are flying over our heads?" "Certainly, Pathfinder. There are too many to escape notice." "Here, where they cross each other in sailing about," he added, cocking and raising his rifle. The two. Now look!" The piece was presented quick as thought, as two of the birds came in a line, though distant from each other many yards. The report followed, and the bullet passed through the bodies of both victims. No sooner had the gulls fallen into the lake than Pathfinder dropped the butt end of the rifle, and laughed in his own peculiar manner, every shade of dissatisfaction and mortified pride having left his honest face. "That is something, Mabel, that is something, although I have no calash to give you. But ask Jasper himself. I'll leave it all to Jasper, for a truer tongue and heart are not in America." "Then it was not Jasper's fault that he gained the prize?" "Not it. He did his best, and he did well. For one that has water gifts, rather than land gifts, Jasper is uncommonly expert, and a better backer no one need wish, ashore or afloat. But it was my fault, Mabel, that he got the calash, though it makes no difference. It makes no difference, for the thing has gone to the right person." "I believe I understand you, Pathfinder," said Mabel, blushing in spite of herself, "and I look upon the calash as the joint gift of yourself and Jasper." "That would not be doing justice to the lad, neither. He won the garment, and had a right to give it away. The most you may think, Mabel, is to believe that, had I won it, it would have gone to the same person." "I will remember that, Pathfinder, and take care that others know your skill, as has been proved upon the poor gulls in my presence." "Lord bless you, Mabel! There is no more need of your talking in favor of my shooting on this frontier, than of your talking about the water in the lake or the sun in the heavens. Everybody knows what I can do in that way, and your words would be thrown away, as much as French would be thrown away on an American bear."
"Then you think that Jasper knew you were giving him this advantage, of which he had so unhandsomely availed himself?" said Mabel, the color which had imparted so much luster to her eyes gradually leaving her face, which became grave and thoughtful.
"I do not say that, but very far from it. We all forget things that we have known, when eager after our wishes. Jasper is satisfied that I can pass one bullet through two potatoes, as I sent my bullet through the gulls, and he knows no other man on the frontier can do the same thing. But with the calash before his eyes, and the hope of giving it to you, the lad was inclined to think better of himself, just at that moment, perhaps, than he ought. No, there's nothing mean or distrustful about Jasper Eau douce, though it is a gift natural to all young men to wish to appear well in the eyes of handsome young women."
"I'll try to forget all but the kindness you've both shown to a poor motherless girl," said Mabel, struggling to keep down emotions she scarcely knew how to account for herself. "Believe me, Pathfinder, I can never forget all you have already done for me, you and Jasper, and this new proof of your regard is not thrown away. Here is a brooch that is of silver, and I offer it as a token that I owe you life or liberty."
"What shall I do with this, Mabel?" asked the bewildered hunter, holding the simple trinket in his hand. "I have neither buckle nor button about me, for I wear nothing but leathern strings, and them of good deerskins. It's pretty to the eye, but it is prettier far on the spot it came from than it can be about me."
"Nay, put it on your hunting shirt, it will become it well. Remember, Pathfinder, that it is a token of friendship between us, and a sign that I can never forget you or your services." Mabel then smiled an adieu, and bounding up the bank she was soon lost to view behind the mound of the fort. Chapter